starts car 69. On the 7th row of the grid, it's number 2. That is the car of Jamie Hadley, and the number 10 car started by Rob Fennick. Then on row 8, it's the number 8 car, which is the car started by Matthew Tidmarsh, then Ginetta, and William Lynch in the 176 car. Row 9 is 83, that's going to be started by William Pottergill, and besides him the number 28 car of David Blackie. Row 10 of the grid, that is the number 87 car started by Tony Partridge. Number 19 is going to be Wayne Lawson. Row 11 is the 21 car, sorry, the 119 car started by Sandro Ballesteros, and 22 started by Stephen Cook. Mark Rice, number 27, is on the inside of row number 12. Besides him is number 76, which is Michael Downey. On the 13th row of the grid, Mike Rayner starts car 197. Besides the champions, 195, Ash Moore starting behind the Civic. Row 14 is number 16, being started by Matthew Stenning, who actually driving solo now. 481 Edward Christian next to him. On the 15th row, it's the 66 car of Johnny Hayes, who will be starting that one. And number 9 going solo now, Ethan Simmons. On the 16th row, it's the treble 3 car, being started by Thomas Stedman, and it's going to be James Mansell in number 169. The 17th row of the grid is the 171 car of Senna Osman, and 193 Tim Parsons, and 35th on the grid is the number 911 car of Clint Wright. That's the grid order then, Josh. A great shame that we're missing that BMW compact from the front row of the grid.
That's right. Ian Jones was involved in an incident yesterday racing against Scott Parkin where they broke the power steering hose, I think, and we saw similar smoke coming out of the car in qualifying, so I wonder if that's gone again and they can't get it fixed, which is a shame. So Scott Parkin, the Class A champion, will go from the front. He wouldn't have much faster than the likes of Darren Ball and Colin Gillespie in qualifying, and obviously being a 2-hour race, this has got lots more involved than outright pace, and as well as watching for the class battles here, we have the Clubman Cup sort of like a subdivision within the classes to look forward to for the older cars, the pre-2010 cars without sequential gearboxes.
Yes, we've got that to be decided. All the individual classes in the overall championship are to be decided. I think the podium places overall and in the classes to be sorted out as well. But we'll keep an eye on what goes on in the Clubman Cup for those older cars as the race goes on. It's a 2-hour race, got plenty of time to talk about it. We've got 34 cars now on the grid. This final race of the season. It's a 2-hour race. There is one pit stop that has to be served. It's a 3-minute mandatory pit stop that they have to serve in Club Enduro, and that will not happen immediately. There's a little while before they make that, of course. We've got the cars making their way out of the final corner. Red lights go out, the race gets underway, and it's Scott Parkin then in the lead, and trying to make up ground. To his left-hand side is Colin Gillespie. Of course, he got that gap where the BMW should have been, but he's not made full benefit from that. He's been a bit slow through the next corner there, and that's allowed Darren Ball to slot through in second place. Gillespie is in third, and is that the car of
Simon Major?
Simon Major, isn't it? Yeah, in fourth position as they make their way through the old hairpin for the first time. So this Ski1 Club Enduro Championship race is underway.
Right, side by side in B between the Ginetta and the Honda of Matthew Tidmarsh and William Pottergill. They were side by side. Pottergill, one of the 3 championship contenders in the Clubman Cup, and they got pole in that this morning, which he shared with Chris Nyland. Up at the top of the hill. They're still side by side, those 2 B-class leaders, so that's a good battle. But Scott Parkin's getting away from the TCR cars behind of Ball and Gillespie, the Cupra and the Volkswagen. Then in 4th position is Major, who made a really good start from row 4, and then in 5th position is Dylan Brichter. Then in the Audi, fighting though to try and get through. Then you've got the Browse car. That's also made a good start. Luke Browse at the wheel of that one. Claire Norman is up next, then Paul Simerson in the Century Motorsport GT4 BMW, and then the rest. They come over the brow. Now there's a Ginetta. Where's William Puffergill gone to in all of this? The Clubman Cup pole sitting Honda is no longer behind the Ginetta. It's lost a couple of spots in the overall order to other Class B cars. A very good start from Mark Grice, who gained 5 places on that lap, and he is second in Class B already on his return to Club Enduro. He only qualified 7th in the class, so all those 5 positions gained are all for class. So great start from Mark Grice.
Yeah, I did think that he might move forward from there. Seems to be a bit further back than I expected. 2 Mark 3 MX-5s getting wheel to wheel there. That was James Mansell and Thomas Stedman. They were battling for their private positions within their class. Half an hour is when the pit lane window opens, by the way. Half an hour into this race, and it closes 15 minutes before the end. 1 3-minute pit stop on Mount Street to be served by 4 teams with their 1 or 2 driver efforts. And the top 3 are all single drivers, aren't they? At the moment, Scott Parkin, Darren Broad and Colin Gillespie. Sam Major, the first of the 2 driver teams, and Sheldon just in Middleton, Dylan Victor with Ryan Parkin in 5th place.
3 abreast here, heading down past the old exhibition centre. I think that's Matthew Hampson at the head of it. Jamie Hadley's Invitational Golf is in there as well. This is about a 7th and 10th position in the race. You've got the BMW M2 of Rob Fennick. One car with the pit lane already is the debutant Clint Wright in his Toyota. See if we can get him back out into the race. David Blackie's made a good start. He's joining in on this battle as well in the BMW E92 M3.
So there's that invitation class car of Jamie Hadley, the Golf. Just the field going through, so a good number of BMWs in this race as well. There's one for the pit lane. Who is that is going into the pits? It's the Will Beach car. The Will Beach car, number 82, has gone into the pit lane. Early problem, it's not a mandatory stop because we're sort of 26 minutes away from the pit lane window being opened.
Will Beach, I think, has a problem in qualifying. The car doesn't seem to be running well most of the time. There's a mechanical flag for Colin Gillespie, the car in 3rd position.
I did see some sort of fluid or something leaking from that car as it went up to McLean's on, I think, the first lap. So whether that's also what the observers trackside have spotted, I'm not quite sure. This is good little scrap, isn't it? Involving the number 10 car, Rob Fennick, also David Blackie E92 M3 as well. Into the pits, one of the Class C frontmen as well, and straight into the garage that car has gone. That's the car that was started by Jonathan Hayes, I think. The 66 car.
Shame for Johnny Hayes. That car finished 2nd in the Class A Championship in 2022.
And we're looking to retain that 2nd place, or regain that 2nd place this season, behind the all-conquering Moore and Dennis duo.
They might still do that, particularly if they can get out and complete 50%. That might be the aim in all of this. Also involved in this battle was another M3, the Lynches. Did we get a stop drive for 176?
I only got one driver, which was William Lynch on the timing sheet.
1:39.37 for Scott Parkin, and that is a new lap record. Chris Boardman's previous better 39.75, 4/10 of a second underneath the previous lap record in the Tiguan Club Enduro Championship.
So they make their way out of Goddard's. Another lap completed then, 1:54 to go. Scott Parkin leading by 2 3/4 seconds on Darren Ball. Gillespie in 3rd. We're watching these sort of trio of BMWs coming down the Craner curves towards us, including the 176 car in all of this, that being the William Lynch M3 for the driver from Midhurst. He is in 13th position at the moment. Just up ahead is the car started by Matthew Hampson, the M2, which Andy Schultz will take over later on in the race. And just behind, the Class B leader, which is the Ginetta, started by Matthew Tidmarsh, the sort of golf coloured car. He's trying to get in amongst these BMWs now.
tiny amongst, especially that E92, which is massive. But David Blackie's got to the front of that group, so that's a good effort. And the Genetics trying to go around the outside. I'm not sure if William realised that Matthew Tidmarsh was there. Of course, Tidmarsh and Webster are the provisional champions in B, so great season they've had in the Ginetta. They've had a couple of class wins. They hadn't had a class win before this year. Not that far ahead of the Mark Grice and William Puttergill battle for the Clubman Cup lead. Ideally, if Puttergill and Nyland want to win the Clubman Cup title, winning the race is the best way about going at it. A non-championship rival, Mark Grice, have taken the lead of that, though, in the early laps of this. They're all involved in that Class B lead battle with Matthew Tidmarsh just up the road. The other Clubman Cup Championship contenders, got one at the back of the screen there, is 119, the Sandro Ballesteros, probably Trundley Audi, and then the third car in contention is actually the championship leader coming into this in the Clubman Cup, and then the overall provisional champion, Sam Moore. Sam Dennis. But they are a Class C car, so won't have the outright pace, but they've been reliable and consistent over the year, and that is what has put them in championship contention this year. Gillespie came into the pits here and got off that mechanical flag.
Yeah, indeed. Actually, just going to think, he's got a Class C lap record as well. That's been down to 148, that's been taken away from the old Richard Liberty. We had that previously. We're on board with Scott Parker, he's got a clear track in front of him in the Audi TT, Darkside Development, sprint car. There he goes. Climbs back up towards Goddard. Third gear, now up to fourth gear. And then we get on the brakes for hairpin, down to third again through there. And the corner will accelerate up through the gears, fourth gear. Up to fifth as he goes sort of past the pits and into Redgate corner, back down again for Redgate. He's going to start some laps shortly. He's got that little Caterham Academy car up ahead of him. A little while since we've had a Caterham in the Tiguan Coverage Championship. But it's about to go a lap down, I think.
Parkin going away up front, 6 seconds ahead, but he needs to do that because he has got a 30-second success compensation time to add to his pit stop for winning the previous race at Aldred Park. Scott Parkin, who's had 3 wins this year, which the other one has come at Brands Hatch on the Grand Prix circuit and at Snetterton. So 6 seconds ahead of Darren Ball. He's also lapped that E30 M3, which is good to have out there against Senna Osman at the wheel. To start off with. So Paul second, third is Simon Major, fourth is Dylan Brichter, fifth for Luke Browse, Paul Simerson's up to sixth, Matthew Stockford is eighth, Claire Norman, seventh for Stockford, the ex-Paralympian, ninth is Jamie Hadley, and Rob Fennick completes the top 10 after the first 5 laps of racing. Gillespie, I think, back out onto the circuit after the pit stop.
Yes, that's unfortunate for him. He'll have been delayed by that, and we'll see what he can do from where he's expect to see him climb back through the order.
See in the background the 2 Clubman Cup leaders are nose to tail. The Grice and Puttergill battle, they're just heading down the back straight towards the S's. That is a really close race in the early stages. There's a Caterham, Kim Parsons at the wheel, it's a quite Morgan racer. Who started that. Here's Stockford and Norman, they're involved in a good battle. Matthew Stockford in the Audi, Claire Norman in the Cupra, the 43-year-old from Cheltenham, who started racing 20 years ago in the Road Slough series before racing the Volkswagen Racing Cup. Racing Historics as well. But let's have a look at this Clubman Cup battle, just coming out of the final corner. 27 Mark Grice, head of championship contender 83. Will Puttergill, but the gap back to the next car in that championship battle. Sandro Ballesteros there in 119, the 17-year-old from Greater Manchester, who raced in the Junior Saloon Car Championship before racing the 116 Trophy. But there is the Clubman Cup leader at this stage, 27 Mark Grice, who's been a race winner in this championship before, and there is Will Puttergill, comes in third in points, but with a chance to take that Clubman Cup championship. Will Puttergill, the 41-year-old from Nottingham, to at his local circuit today, the ex-Type R Trophy racer in a K24 powered Honda Civic, and keen to take this lead of the class away, I think, from Mark Rice at this stage here.
Yeah, certainly looks like it. It's good to scrap this for 15th and 16th position overall, and they are alongside one another down the straight. Over the truss they go. But it looks like it is going to be Rice in the 27 car, but continues to hold on for the moment from number 83, Will Skill, the Holland Asset Management over at Honda Civic Type R. So these two, second and third in Class B, behind Martin Webster Janetta. Club and Cup, and now wide is gone. Mark Rice, and has conceded the lead of the Club and Cup away to Will Pussegill there.
That's right, that's where Pussegill wants the race to the position he wants to end in what, 107 minutes time. There's a lot to happen before then. You see the heat there in the brake pads of Mark Rice. That was a great shot there at the Goddard, and that's maybe why he outbraked himself at Melbourne. Already the front brakes on the Audi TT starting to get up to temperature. I wonder if that's the car that Rice is racing in the short distance races, and this is very different, of course, having to go for a long time. There's Gillespie recovering. There is Ballesteros, though, who is one of the three contenders for that Club and Cup title. And he's just done a PB at 146.6 for Ballesteros. But Jay, frustration for Gillespie. Best particularly if it wasn't a particular problem, if it was an overfill or just an early moment of fact smoke that's not going to come to anything, and if that's lost him a minute or so, hasn't it? But Gillespie might be able to come back from that in that Volkswagen Golf. Yeah,
down to 17th. He went as a result of that one, back to 17th. He's got, sorry, is ahead, getting ahead of Ballesteros. So we've got the TT turning its way there into Cup Score. There's on new Club and Cup leader, Will Pussegill, now quite an advantage over Mark Rice.
It was the Ballesteros programme that was announced on the BBC website, wasn't it?
Yes.
At the beginning of the season, with Bobby Trundley racing, the pair racing for the Racing with Autism UK team. Those two inspirational youngsters, really quick drivers, the pair of them. Trundley, who's been a class winner in British GT in the past, he will get in for the second part. We've got a couple of FN2 Civics here, battling over second in Class C. Matthew Stenning in 16 is ahead of Ethan Simmons in 9, who I think is making his Club Enduro debut today, racing road sports previously. Still a teenager. In 9, there he is. Good to have a couple of these later model Civics out. I'm not sure what he's waving about, but good to see the cars. Oh, he was waving Scott Parkin through, wasn't he, there? But if he can do that every time he's on lap, he'll have a sore hand by the end.
Yeah, Scott Parkin has now put a lap on that car.
A Parkin wave back, so that was good to see.
In 26th position is Ethan Simmons, so he's now lapped everyone up to 25th, and we'll soon lap everyone up to 24th as well, I think.
Yes, this won't be like Botman's straight through everyone looks at cars on the lead up at the end.
No. So that's the 183 car that's now being lapped as well. The Stephen Cook, Edward Cook, Volkswagen Scirocco. Stephen aboard that first today. Edward took the first yesterday in road sports.
Had a change for second. Simon Major, who started down in 8th, had a good first stint. He's up into second. Both he and Dylan Brichter got past Darren Ball. So Darren Ball, who was second, has dropped to 4th. They are 11 seconds now, though, behind Scott Parkin, who's absolutely flying in his Audi.
Off goes Ethan Simmons, back onto the circuit in the number 9 car. Yes, it was a long lap that for Ball, wasn't it? Into the 143s. He had to do 140s. They got past him both in 141. So it's probably a subscription for Darren Ball that time through. There he is now. Whether it's a problem with the car or he just made a mistake, small mistake that allowed the next 2 through, not quite sure. We'll get an idea soon of the next lap time when they come through.
So yeah, Major, who's certainly a new livery since I saw him go well at Snetterton earlier in the season. Presumably it's the livery of a new car. They're in second place in the Cupra. He's had a decent season with Justin Middleton as his co-driver. So they had a road sportsman, they've had a podium at Snetterton as well. But being chased all the way by Dylan Brichter in the diesel-powered Darkside Developments Audi TT, a 2016 car, GC 310 brake horsepower. Slightly less power than twin brother Scott's car has, and twin brother Brian Scott Parkin who leads the way. So this is a slightly less powered car. But they come up to find Downfall is falling away here, isn't he, from this battle?
Yeah, that was back into the 141s, so not quite as slow as the previous lap, but nevertheless a fell away from those two.
That's right. Just lapping the battle further back. Ballesteros in the pit lane. 119, Clubman Cup Championship contender in the pit, and this is before the pit window opens. So what has gone wrong? And not very much is happening. So this could be the end of the championship challenge, I think.
Yeah, the bonnet's open, but a bit of a mystery as to what he's doing. We've got the torch on there, trying to look for something further down. So there's something that's been rattling around into there, or something like that. We're going to have to see what they can do here. There's 12 minutes or so before the pit lane window opens, the driver getting out of the car.
All signs are not good here, I'm afraid. The first of our three Clubman Cup Championship contenders falling, and this is good news for Motion Motorsport because the two cars left are both from that squad.
Yes, the squad that prepare a few cars across other Pacific categories as well.
I noticed they've some non-Hondas in their squad now as well, haven't they? Some of the other teams are seeing a good job that Motion Motorsport are doing and are asking them to either prepare their cars or perhaps run them at race weekends. So, a team that's fairly new to the scene as well, aren't they? They're growing all the time. But a second continues.
Yeah, and this battle is how far behind the leader? 12 seconds behind the leader. It's got Parkin, Simon Major, and Parkin, the two cars that we're looking at here, 580 and 6. There's just over a second between the two of them now. They've got a 4.5 second gap back now to Darren Ball, who's in 4th position. Just getting away a little bit now in second place. It's just from Dylan Brichter in the diesel Audi TT. Out of the old hairpin they go and towards the plains. Blue flags waving, there'll be plenty of that in this race, I'm sure. Traffic's been negotiated. 119 car, yes, it is retiring to the garage by the sounds of it, the Bow-Styles car. Out there, you can see Sandro out of his car, his overalls untied at the waist, and I think either disappointed that his race is over or on the hunt for something that's going to get them back out into the race. But looks like it is a retirement for Sandro and Bobby, unfortunately.
Matt's on the scene, I'm sure we get the news soon, and as soon as it gets relayed. Did we? No, we did see Will Pascoe get past Martin Grice. I think Grice went wide, wasn't it? So that's how the Clubman Cup lead changed.
Just looking as well as for Class B, it is the gap came down that time between Tidmarsh and Pascoe. It was a 148.9 for Tidmarsh and 146.1 for Pottergill. So the gap down to 3.5 seconds between them.
This is a bad garage to be in. Johnny Hayes' car that was retired right at the start, it seems. He's also in there, so 2 retirements in one garage. See Claire Norman's just done a personal best, a 142.9. She's passed Matthew Stockford lately. Here's our Class B leader and our professional champion, the Ginetta G40, the ex-Rothgo car. With Matthew Tidmarsh at the wheel. Chris Webster has been his co-driver all year. They've had 2 wins, a second and a 6th in Class B this season. Golf livery, as you would expect. Got 2.5 litre Duratec engine power in that car, so not in any sort of Ginetta specification, but built especially for the Tiguewa Club Enduro Championship. It's been developed over the last few years, and this year it's come really good. It's got really fast, it's set lap records at various venues, and now a provisional class championship to go with it, and a battle for second in the overall championship with Scott Parkin, I think, Ian, this weekend. Between these two, they were separated by just a point coming here to Donington Park.
Yeah, that's right. It's a gearbox failure on the 119 car. We understand the central place car.
And in from 11th, another unscheduled stop. This is Rob Fennick's BMW M2. The pit lane is a busier place than it should be at this stage of the race. That's a shame there for Rob Fennick, the 45-year-old from Buckinghamshire. In his fourth season of racing, he finished second in Class C last year. He's upgraded to this 2021 BMW that he's heading back out. The M2 CS Racing, a car they got from Holland. And that is heading back out into the race. So still going, but obviously time lost in that stop. But here's our Class B leader, about to put a lap down Ed Christie's BMW, who's the poster boy for the live stream today. And Tidmarsh around the outside of the S, is not wasting any time. Continuing to push on, looking for that third class win of the season. Here's a 19, which is Wayne Lawson, the 52-year-old from Lincolnshire. Very experienced track day goer, but he's going racing for the first time this year. He's a wheelchair user, uses hand controls. It's a 2010 spec Audi TT, and this is one of the cars that have been taken over by Motion Motorsport in recent months. And I think Wayne was saying that the car, I think, was ready to be scrapped, but Motion Motorsport said we can get that back running, and that's absolutely what they've done. He had the best run at Silverstone he's had in that car, and things going okay here. Running in 6th position within Class B in the early stages. A car that he will share with James Pickford, the former Seat Cupra champion from 20 years ago, if you can believe it was that long ago.
It's scary thought, isn't it? That was that long ago. So we are working lap number 15 for the leader. Just the news from that came that the Fenwick cars were supposed to have a puncture, but not to have one.
There's Darren Bull, who's dropped to 4th. He's dropped quite a long way back from Dylan Brichter, 7.5 seconds. So he's perhaps starting to pace himself now. Want to keep those front tyres in order. All these front cars are front-wheel drive cars, aren't they? The Audi TTs, I think, are,
yes.
And all the TCR cars are. So the best rear-wheel drive car is 6, which is Paul Simonsen's BMW M4. But battle for second is still on between Simon Major and Dylan Brichter. They've been nose to tail, I think, really since the start. You can see that gap they've pulled out on Darren Bull, which is pretty substantial. They have a car to that, which is the car which was started by Toby Partridge, I think. Louis Woodward in that one as well. They are 4th in Class B, so they've almost lapped the majority of the Class B cars. Not yet a quarter of the way in.
3 or 4 minutes away, about 5 minutes actually away from the pit lane window being open. As if drivers do make relatively early stops. It's just the one mandatory 3-minute stop in this race, rather than 2 mandatory 1-minute stops that we have through the 1-6 trophy race a little bit earlier on.
Gillespie's just done a PB, 1 minute 40.7, which is about the 5th fastest lap of the race, I think, in the Volkswagen. So some cars still improving, while others are fading away, like Darren Bull, who's faded a couple of seconds away from his personal best. Volkswagen Sirocco here, 183. Stephen Cook began it. It's 8th in Class B. It is something like 6th in the Clubman Cup, but it's battling for 23rd in the race with Matthew Stenning's Honda. And both about to be lapped by the battle for 9th, which has changed on this lap. David Blackie's E92 M3 has gone past Jamie Hadley's Golf, so a change for 9th in the race by the looks of it. And they will come out the final corner. You can see the BMW are ahead of the Volkswagen. That's the battle for 9th, lapping the battle for 23rd in the race at this stage.
Yeah, good battles all the way down, of course. So So we've got parking number 1 leading the way for number 18, so Major in second. Audi for Cooper, then it's Dylan Brickter and another Audi, number 6 in third place, number 25 for Cooper of Darren Boyle is fourth. Continue the Cooper of Luke Grell's fifth, but Union 55 in sixth place of Paul Siverson. Seventh for number treble 4 car of Claire Norman, eighth for number 78 Audi of Stockford. Ninth is number 28, that's David Blackley, and 12th second is the number 2 is the invitation class car of Jamie Hampton. Class B being led by number 8, Matthew Tifrosh, by about 5.7 seconds from Rob Huskey, number 83. Class C, 195 for leader there. They've got all the races so far this season. Ash Moore, and he is quite clear of Matthew Stelling in second place for the Class C. They remind you that the classes in Enduro best penalty rate ratio basis. So Class A for cars up to 300 brake horsepower per ton. Class B limit is 240. C limit is 180 brake horsepower per ton. As we now this battle continuing on between the Butler Scirocco.
Also, just a reminder for people who have a question on the stream in the comments, you can see what the Clubman Cup means. And it's cars built before 2010, so it's not related to the driving, it's related to the cars. So for the older cars that do not have a sequential gearbox, that's a manual gearbox, that's what the Clubman Cup is for. That's the one championship yet to be decided.
Yes, and that could be cars from any class as well.
Yeah.
So
I don't think any A cars are fitted into that this weekend, but we have seen others in the past. There have been lots of different winners in the Clubman Cup. Will Puttergill and Ryan Bentley have won a couple of times. Ashmore and Sam Dennis won at Croft. Sandro Ballesteros and Bobby Trundley won at Silverstone, and Michael Downey won at Alton Park. So the only car to have won more than once is the one that actually leads that race at the moment.
Although it's a different driver lineup, isn't it, this weekend? With Chris Nyland joining Will Puttergill. Ryan Bentley engaged elsewhere this weekend, former Stock Touch champion.
David Blackie then pulling away from Jamie Hadley. He's up to 9th. He started 18th, so first outing for that E92 M3 is going well. A 42.5 the best lap. Over a second quicker than they went in qualifying. They had problems yesterday, they seem to be up to speed now. And quickly catching Matthew Stockford. And you can see that on your screen now. So Matthew Stockford coming under threat from David Blackie by the looks of things. Stockford, the former Paralympian medalist. David Blackie in his Club Enduro debut. Been a consistent season for Stockford. He's had a couple of 4th positions as his best. There's the E92 M3. It's a much larger car than the older models. It's great to have an E92 back out. Luke Sedjakowski took a win, I think, in the E92 a number of seasons ago. It's good to have another back again. Running there in 9th position in the stage, and sharing that car with Josh Lawton, the former Road Sports race winner. Racing his Civic in Classic Touring Car Thunderstorms this year. But I think back in the 750 Club paddock for the first time this season. Problems yesterday, but to see the car out today.
So yes, the 28th car of Blackie and Lawton off up the hill past Michael Downey there in the number 76 Boxster, which Josh mentioned was a class winner in the Clubman Cup. That was an aim for Michael this year to try and win the Clubman Cup this season. I don't think he'll manage it, but he's had at least one win. Stopped racing in 2018, inspired by his father who raced before him. So this now is 7th season of racing in the Tequila Club Enduro Championship, and he travels down from Scotland to do so. He works in financial services. So pit window is open. I don't think we've had anyone yet making a scheduled stop.
No.
A few unscheduled stops at the timing screen, but none that actually are expected at this stage.
Yeah, depending on the fuel tank size, doesn't it usually? You don't want to pit when you can't get to the end of the race. So teams will have that all pre-planned when the earliest that they can realistically pit, and then you decide whether that's going to work out for your race. Generally, it's better to pit early on the whole. So Blackie's caught Stockford then. The Audi RS3, a great looking car this, but Audi really in almost all forms of motorsport being faded out. As Audi customer racing sort of being closed down to facilitate the Grand Prix programme. One of the cars that came out of that programme, such a successful programme. The Audi customers bought cars, particularly the R8, which they made so many GT races with, but where most manufacturers getting involved in sports car racing, Audi's sort of going away unusually. But great to have that car in this championship and running well. Change for second in the race. Dylan Brichter has finally, after many laps of trying, got past Simon Major. So the Audis are first and second. We did hear yesterday Scott Parkin tell Matt Sutlin that part of the aim of this weekend is to get a Darkside Development 1-2 in the Class A Championship. Coming into this weekend, Brichter and Ryan Parkin were 5 points ahead of Andy Shawes and Matthew Hampson, and a point ahead of Darren Ball. So whether they will feel it necessary to do any team tactics, or whether, obviously as it is, I think that's all good for Ryan Parkin and Dylan Brichter to take the championship. First car into the pit lane, by the way, is Claire Norman. She will hand over to Alan Blenker.
Yeah, with just under 90 minutes of the race, 56 minutes of the race left to go. 3 minutes, which is about 2 laps or so, isn't it? But station for us, and we need a couple of laps in the pit stop. Everyone out of the car as the fuel goes in.
So Claire Norman started this, the double British Women Racing Drivers Club Award winner. It's a 2018 Cupra. It's a Gen 1 car that Alan Blenko Racing purchased at the end of the year, and Alan Blenko will get into it. The driver who started racing with the 750 Motor Club back in 1999, returning quarter of a century later. He finished 4th in Stockhatch that year before just 3 years later ended up in the British Touring Car Championship.
I think it was the first year of Stockhatch as well, 1999.
Could be.
Because Hot Hatch was created first. I think it was perhaps about 97. Stockhatch a little bit later on.
Well, that's the Victor car from my time. Scott Parker. I had another car closer than that. Side by side for what is now 7th place with the pit stop for Claire Norman. Matthew Stockford has David Blackie going through. They're about to lap the provisional champions. The car by Ash Moore. Blackie goes a bit wide, but I think he's got this position done. This progress is really good. I don't think they're going to get any further in this first stint. It'll be interesting to see what Josh Lawton can do in the second half. Because he was really good in that supercharged Civic that he raced previously. His first outing in the championship in this car. There is Claire Norman giving perhaps last minute advice to Alan Blenko, helping with the driver change as well. Scott Parkin set another record lap. The Ancient.com fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 39.146.
Yep, so he's getting away out in front, as to say, Claire Norman helping Alan Blenko back end. As you can see the minimum weight sticker there, and that says that comes to at least 1,193 kilograms for the amount of power it puts out to qualify for the class it puts in, which is Class A, which is up to 300 brake horsepower per tonne. So the equation is worked out, we know how much power it puts out, so that we know what as a minimum it needs to weigh. Now they've just got to wait for the 3 minutes to be up.
Claire Norman, the daughter of Charles Tippett, long time racing driver. So it's a great racing family, that, and they've raced together in the past as well, haven't they? Historic cars. But in this car, probably the most powerful car Claire has raced. It's very different to the BMW, classic BMW that she races. And returning to her front-wheel drive roots that she when she raced in the Volkswagen Racing Cup. But Alan Blenko probably the most powerful car he'd raced too, because it was a production class he raced in the British Touring Car Championship, which would have had significantly less power than the Cupra does. There is Brichter then. He's not getting away from Simon Major since passing him. They're both, though, best part 20 seconds ahead of Darren Ball, who, of course, was ahead of them in the early stages.
Yes, Ball has dropped away quite a bit. Here's Colin Gillespie in the shot here. He's got the Blackie BMW ahead of him. So this is Gillespie back inside the top 10 now. He's in 8th position. Having had that pit stop earlier on when he was showing the black and orange mechanical warning flag. But he's not far away from getting 7th place here, I don't think. We'll have a look into McLean's to see if we can do it there. We can't. These cars both in Class A, of course.
Gillespie is averaging basically the same lap times as Darren Ball, to within a tenth of a second. And he goes through into a coppice to grab 7th away from David Blackie. Probably an unusual moment for David Blackie, because he's been gaining places all the way through this. But the first time he loses one, that's the car due to the unscheduled pit stop that Gillespie had early on. It's got good pace in that Exville Beach Volkswagen Golf. It's raced in the TCR UK Championship this year, but I think Gillespie having his first run out in it in the Tiguan Club Enduro Championship this weekend. Just about as many TCR cars in this race as in some TCR UK races, I think.
Yes, certainly are. Is Gillespie on the Lotus. There's the Michael Dowley car into the pit lane, and there you can see the fuel going in.
This is just the second car to have made a scheduled stop in.
Yeah, and you can see there the wheel covered. Less any fuel will be spilled there. Extinguisher on hand as well. There's Gillespie again, having cleared that BMW. 3 quarters of a lap ago. 15 Golf, it looks menacing, it looks very quick. The 197 car there you can see is the Daniel Mike Rayner Lotus.
Running 5th in Class B, so it's going well.
It is, yeah, in 18th place overall. Rayner is that started that car. Lucky now has put a lap on it as well in the 28 BMW.
I think Gillespie's really pulled away from Lucky, as you might expect. So they turn up towards Coppice. You've got Matthew Stockford in 9th, and he's being chased by Jamie Hadley down the back straight towards the S's. Stockford in 78. Alan James will jump into that halfway. Alan Blenco's getting on with things. Up the curves, full touring car style. Passing 2 cars in the process. Alan is 47 from Wiltshire. He was the Ford Fiesta Winter Series champion in 2000. Before he raced an Alfa Romeo in the British Touring Car Championship. This 2018 Cupra, run by his team, Alan Blenco Racing. I said earlier, purchased just this year. And over the course of the season, they've had a best result of 4. So I wonder if they could replicate that, or perhaps go a little bit better. They, after their pit stop, are in 24th position, and Blenco immediately does a PB at 141.5, which is a pretty good first effort for Blenco. So he's got good pace. He qualified that car in 6th. We can see what else he might be able to do.
There's the 28 punch gone through. There is that Stockford car. And that's still in 9th place at the moment. Mando Ford in 9th in Class A as well. Being chased by that invitation class car, so it's not scoring points. The number 2 car. Jamie Hadley, Volkswagen Golf.
Seen some of Hadley in road sports before, so perhaps this is a little dip into seeing what he thinks of these 2-hour races in sight of next year. I think in road sports he did run in Class B, but perhaps that car's been slightly upgraded from there. And he doesn't have to run to the power to weight ratio to fit into a class in the invitational division. We'll see how he enjoys himself, and whether we see more of him next season.
yes, we would hope to see many of these drivers teams back for next year. And Club Enduro, it's been well supported again this year. Motorsports, the 45-minute driver, if you like, has been more supported this season than as Club Enduro. I'm sure there'll be a good number of cars out. It's an attractive format to our racing for it's actually a mix of different race times. We've had 1 3-hour race, we've had some 75-minute races, we've had a 100-minute race as well. So
it's what some of your quite a lot of endurance series are, aren't they? It mixes them up. Means you haven't got the same strategy in every race.
Exactly.
Had some 1 and 2 pit stop races. Sure, some ideas and what for next year already in the plan. We had our first trip to the Grand Tactical Free Circuit this year as well. There's Mike Rayner. He is 11 seconds ahead of Wayne Lawson, who just had the personal best of 1:47.8. This Lotus is 3rd in the Clubman Cup as well, isn't it? Behind Will Puttergill and Mark Grice. So it's running nicely. And actually the Clubman Cup leader is just getting the black and white driving standards flag. Is Will Puttergill, who's really pulled clear of Mark Grice. He's only 11 seconds behind Matthew Tidmarsh. I wonder if Will Puttergill and Chris Nyland are looking to go out with a Class B win. They haven't got any success compensation time, so on net they're in the sort of the advantageous place in Class B.
Yeah, so that could certainly work out in their favour as this race goes on. We've not really seen the success compensation at the pit stops coming into play yet, have we? There's a number of teams that do have to serve them.
Class A,
classes.
Class A 30 for Scott Parkin, 20 for Dylan Brichter, and 10 for Darren Ball. So that's going to drop the Brichter and Parkin car down, isn't it? Or Scott Parkin, talking about his 30 seconds, is about to be served now. But yeah, this could all mix up the Class A order, I think.
Yes, it's basically a 3.5-minute stop then for Scott Parkin. He's not stopped at 45, he's stopped at pretty much 90 degrees into the pit lane there, but that should be absolutely fine. He's obviously climbing out of the car, which is required while the refuelling is done.
Have to take the radio cord out. Catherine brother and Ryan perhaps get some images of the social media.
Yeah, lots of a big social media presence for Darkside development, so do check out their social channels.
Big support of Birkin Relay as well, coming up in a couple of weeks' time.
That's right. So it's 2 weeks' time, less than 2 weeks' time now for the Birkin Relay.
There's the new leader then, which is Dylan Brichter in the slightly less powerful teammate car. So obviously Ryan's not getting into it just yet, is he? If he's doing other duties down there in the pit lane. 4 seconds clear of Simon Major, but with that 20 seconds to serve in the pit lane, it's going to drop this car, number 6, down the order a little bit, certainly behind the Major and Middleton machine. Scott Parkin was only like 20 seconds ahead, wasn't he? So that's why he had to push on so hard, and he might have to continue to push on if he's going to stay ahead of the Simon Major Cupra. Oh, and
there's a car, that's the Matthew Stelling Civic FN2 that's off into the gravel at the old hairpin. He's trying to get it going. It's damaged the back of one of the MX-5s as well. Is that the...
Similar.
It is the 169 car, James Mansell it was that started that. So whether there's any connection between those two things, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if that car's still in the gravel trap or if it's managed to get out. No, it is still in the gravel trap by the looks of it. The Stelling car that's down at the old hairpin, so you would think if that stays there for much longer, then we know what's going to happen, and that's going to be a caution period, and that could signal some changes as the Browse car we just see going through there. The marshals are on the scene trying to help get that Stelling car out of the gravel trap later.
Wayne Lawson has pitted, I wonder in sort of response to what might come next. So James Pickford will get aboard that car, the former BTCC Podium finisher, race winner in Carrera Cup, racing the FIA GT3 Championship in the early years as well, did James Pickford. Podium finisher there, he will take over from Wayne Lawson as he started.
So the 169 car has continued on. It's not called at the pits to get something done with that bumper, but that would just be tearing it off. Probably could do more straightforward things to do at this stage. Still number one car stationary, but of course it's a 3.5 minute stop that he's serving. Scott back into the car now.
Safety car.
Yeah, safety car is coming out. That's not a surprise with the Stelling Honda off in the gravel trap at the old hairpin. Team counted down to get that car back into the race.
I suspect this hasn't worked so terribly badly for Scott Parkin, has it? He'll be able to join on the back of the queue, and a few seconds of his race as I don't know what's happened to Louis Woodward's car here. Is there a red light? That might not work so well for Scott Parkin if there's a red light at the end of the pit lane.
Yes.
The safety car wants to get out.
Yeah.
There's a car in the way at the moment.
Yeah. So safety car is now going past the number 87 car.
It's Scott Parkin, it's being held. So this is a drama for our previous race winner. The red lights are on at the end of the pit lane while we get the safety car out in a safe place. So for Scott Parkin, he will have to wait, and for the Toby Partridge Louis Woodward pit stop, that car is waiting. We've already seen that. That's a twist that we weren't expecting.
The 169 car, which is the MX5 with the bumper track, and that's going to get the fancy warning flag. That needs to, I mean, as I say, to either get the bumper sort of flashed up or taken off the car. So we've got the safety car waiting at the end of the pit lane to pick up, presumably try and pick up the leading car, which is going to be Dylan Brichter's car.
This is actually going very badly. I think it's Scott Parkin, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And for Louis Woodward and Toby Partridge, who are in contention in Class B. For Wayne Lawson and James Pickford, though, this pit stop at the moment not being compromised for them. The other drivers, you'd think, would be going a little bit slower out on the circuit because of the full yellow period. So it's the luck of the draw, isn't it? If you pit, safety car comes out, sometimes you win, other times you lose.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got 71 minutes left of this race. There is the Dylan Brichter car. It's just come out of the final corner. Now the safety car has to dash out to try and pick it up.
Of course, this will bring Colin Gillespie back into contention. He was about a minute behind. And this isn't good news really for the success compensation time for the Brichter Parkin pairing and the others who have got time to serve as well.
Two cars at the end of the pit are just being released now, but they've been sitting there for a couple of minutes.
And how perfect that worked for James Pickford, because his pit stop's just been done and he's heading out onto the circuit. James Pickford, who will be a bronze rank driver from next year by the FIA, perhaps seeing him out in the first racing series because of that. Safety car brought everyone under control. Sometimes the safety car can break up the class battles. Don't think that's been a particular situation this time round. Tidmarsh was ahead of Puttigill and Grice in Class B. Class C went through a much larger lead for Ashmore. Second was Ethan Simmons. Third was Thomas Stedman. Stedman and Hooper have had a good few races in that car, lately on the podium in Class C. Tom Stedman at the moment, only in his second season.
The 197 Lotus has been waved through. Mike Rayner, who is 16th overall and 4th in Class B, so that'll be waved through to join the back of the queue, but then it's Dylan Brichter behind. The 1969 car, now that has come in, but this won't make this mandatory stop.
Well, a chunk out the bumper, hasn't it?
I think that's been running on the exhaust, so the heat has melted the bumper there. I think that's what's gone on.
Makes a lot of sense. My brain was thinking what caused that, but yeah, I think you're right.
But now they've only got half the official sticker that they're required to run the Enduro sticker because it's been burned through.
So So they're turning this in. No, they can't turn this into.
No, they can't. The safety car's out. So you cannot take a mandatory stop with the safety car. With the safety car out on track.
But they shouldn't actually lose any time really because of this, will they? I don't think they're going to lose a lap.
It should just be their position in the queue, really.
Unless they get a red light, of course.
Which is not impossible.
Alan Blenko is basically a lap ahead of Scott Parkin after the pit stops.
Yes, of course, he was the earliest of the cars to stop, really, wasn't he?
Could this really come into their favour, I wonder?
So the Stelling car's now been released back onto the circuit with the help of the snatch vehicle.
That's behind
Just having a few other cars by the looks of it.
Normally takes about a lap, doesn't it, to get back. Good to go. I think we've got 9 cars on the lead lap. William Lynch is the first car a lap down. The first 4 Class B cars on the lead lap: Tidmarsh, Puttergill, Rice, Rayner. That means the top 3 in from a couple on the lead lap: Puttergill, Rice, and Rayner. Then in Class C, Ethan Simmons still on the same lap as Ashmore. And that's still 2 up for grabs. But yes, it looks like Alan Blenko is right at the back of the queue, isn't he, I reckon, which means you gain the most time.
Yes.
And they weren't more than a minute really behind earlier, so this could, and Alan's proved in those early laps he's quick.
Can't be into the pit lane there.
No, he would.
Yes, okay, that's... it was at the end of the pit lane, wasn't it? So, just wondering if that's going to go straight to the end of the pit lane, into the garage, and what's going on there?
This car, a ex-Nürburgring VLN car, I think, M2, for M2355i. It's like the earlier cars compared to the car that you can see in Class A from Rob Fennick.
That was the car at the end of the pit lane when the safety car was waiting to go out, if you remember. So safety car is still out there. Will it be in possibly at the end of this lap? Usually we see the safety car lights switch off around the time it goes on to the Melbourne loop.
Of course, when cars are having their pit stop, some of them get fans put into them, don't they? Obviously when they're sitting in the pit lane, that's not a possibility.
No.
Whether that's been a problem, I don't know. 2 cars in between the 2 Class B leaders for the restart, Matthew Tidmarsh and William Puttergill. Their best lap's about 4 tenths apart. So that's going to be a battle that goes under the way, I suspect. Although, of course, the genetics got only 30 seconds to serve. So that could make it difficult for Chris Webster in the second half to retain that lead. The Class A battle could really be mixed up too, with Dylan Brichter, Ryan Parkin having to serve 20 seconds. Darren Ball has 10 seconds to serve. So that's really should go in the favour of Justin Middleton, who will take over from Simon Major. The Browse family can come into contention too.
Safety car lights are out then, so it will pull in at the end of this lap. We've got 65 minutes, it should be less than 65 minutes of racing left to go, so we're nearly halfway through this race. The blue wooden colours stuck in gear. The reason that was to come in.
I think they'd reset electronics on again.
So it's Dylan Brichter in number 6 that's going to lead them up to the line to restart the race. The Lotus has pulled off in the background. The 197 car, Mike Reyes, so Daniel Jude's not going to get a go, I don't think, but the race getting back underway then. Green flag wave with 64.5 minutes of the race left to go. It is Parkin then that is leading from Simon Major. Dylan Brichter that's leading from Simon Major by half a second as this race gets back underway. Darren Ball, number 25, is third. Luke Browse, number 22, is in fourth position. Colin Gillespie up to fifth. That really has worked out well for him because he's now only 14 seconds behind the lead, despite having made that unscheduled stop earlier on in the 55 car. Paul Simpson in sixth, but with Mike Rayner out of the car, there's something going to need to be done about that.
It's a long way off the circuit on the back straight, it could be a long way from Marshall, isn't it? It's a shame, that guy was fourth in Class B. Rob Fennick came into the pits behind the safety car. I'm not sure that would count as a scheduled stop. Well, they're trying to take it as a scheduled stop. I thought we had this discussion or in 116 trophy racing that you can't come in when the safety car comes in. Not sure what the case is with Club Enduro. But anyway, battle on for the lead. Dylan Brichter versus Simon Major. And we're going safety car. So the safety car is going to be called before anyone can pit. The yellow flags are out and Simon Major was drawn alongside Dylan Brichter there. They went out of the shot. But is this pit stop legal for Rob Fennick or not?
To confirm, it says for the avoidance of doubts, and underlined letters that are highlighted in the final briefing note for this meeting. For the avoidance of doubt, teams may not follow the safety car into the pit lane in order to make a mandatory stop. If the safety car period does not officially end until all cars have crossed the start and finish line.
And what's the penalty?
Now I've got to turn to a different page for that and see if that is specified on that. But it's effectively going to be stopping outside of the pit window, isn't it? Effectively. 5-lap deduction, I think, applied at the end of the race. Unless they make another 3-minute stop, which will probably negate that.
That would be more beneficial from there.
Well, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Because it depended if it was a time penalty or a lap penalty.
Yeah,
lap penalties are, you say, more significant.
So we haven't got very much racing on the safety car game. It was just less than a lap, wasn't it?
Yeah, I imagine they thought the best idea is safety car it so no one gets an advantage. So then we can go again once that car's brought later safety. And that's brought the two Class B leaders together there in your shot.
Yep, so Martin and the driver together and pushing that car out of it. We're already a long way off, but if they can get it up towards the barriers, then I think we'll be good to go. There's not too many marshals at that part of the circuit on the straight because that's not where you're expecting quite so many incidents. Some kind of technical issue with the car there, but we've got it against the barrier, so I thought they'll be reasonably happy with that now.
Nice light car, hopefully.
Yes, exactly. There's some of them on the grid today.
I think so many Lotuses this year, have we? But we've had good success in the past. Joe Taylor won the Class A Championship in a lease a few years ago.
There's a recovery vehicle heading down there as well.
Martin was going away earlier. It was expected of recovery to be done.
So we'll just try and tow that away.
Raining pops over the barriers. So yeah, we're going to get back to more.
Yes, I did get a couple of the looks of things.
So Blanco is 2 laps down there. You were reckoning a pit stop takes about 2 laps.
I thought so. So 3 minutes plus in and out, that's going to be 3.5 minutes, isn't it, roughly?
It's going to put them right in contention, I reckon. For a pairing that only joined the championship this year. Some struggles, I think, earlier in the season, but better recently, and going even today if it carries on as it stands.
So we're now into the second half of the race. It's number 6, Dylan Brichter, and Ryan Parkin leading. Number 18, Simon Major, Justin Middleton in second. 25, Darren Ball in third. 22, Luke and Paul Browse are fourth. 15, Colin Gillespie is fifth. 55, Paul Simpson starts in sixth. 7th, number 28, Zane Blackley and Josh Lawton. Then in 8th place, number 7, stopped for Alan Jones. 9th, number 2, Jamie Cooper. 10th, number 176, which is William Lynch. Class B is being led by Matthew Tickrush, Chris Webster in 12th position overall. Number 8 from 8-3, Chris Gill and Christopher Nyland. 3rd place from that class is number 27, Mark Rice. Class C is being led by number 195, Ashmore and Sam Dennis in 15th position overall, and 16th place overall. So second class E is 19th overall, which is Ethan Simmons, number 9, and then third in class C is Thomas Stedman, Michael Hooper, treble 3, and MX5 in 21st overall. The Lotus has now been pulled onto basically the national circuit, a bit of a national circuit that we're not using this weekend. So therefore we should be good to go racing again just as soon as the safety car is next back round.
We're now into the second half, where we've seen quite a lot of stops. Obviously not immediately after the safety car comes in, but not long afterwards. Rescue vehicles go away. Maybe that can be done before this safety car lap is completed. I think all three, well, certainly classes A and B, very much to play for. Of course, Moore and Dennis are going to have a longer stop. They are quite a bit quicker, but you can see they could get a result out of these first go in this particular upcoming Enduro Championship for 9. So he's going solo today. There's the Class B leader, but with a success penalty, which is going to make it difficult for Chris Webster in the second half to get a third win. But with Scott Parkin losing that extra lap, second in the overall championship still up for grabs there between Janetta and the Audi drivers. That's an interesting battle to watch for as well in the Clubman Cup, but the championship battle is Buttigill is a lap ahead. Bashmore. There he is, 183. The Class B second place, the Clubman Cup leader, Will Buttigill.
So safety car lights are out, the race is about to get underway then, with 56.5 minutes or so to go by the time they get to the timing line. Dylan Richter and Parkin leading, and a reminder that drivers cannot follow the safety car into the pit lane at the end of this lap. Cannot count as a mandatory stop, so they have to do at least one more lap before they can make their pit stop, which many of them I think will probably do, because there's now less than half of the race to go. The race gets back underway, 34 laps now in the book. Dylan Richter leading, Simon Major in second place. Going for the lead around the outside is Simon Major, and Dylan Richter's half spinning, and he's off on the grass now on the inside of the circuit, and his twin brother is going to take track position from him, although it's a couple of laps down. But it's Dylan Richter then, the twin brother of the co-driver Ryan Parkin. But now that car is way back down the queue of cars that's going down towards the old hairpin. I
reckon there was a touch before, because there was a bit of bodywork that went, and then obviously you had that contact. Scott Parkin's aim here is to get a lap back, and he is. It's on the inside, because if there is another safety car period, that would work well. Two more cars have come into the pit lane when they shouldn't have done. David Blackie was one, Mark Bryce was the other. So that's two contenders for class victories in trouble, I think. But Scott Parkin, while things aren't going well for the other Darkside car, better for them because they have got a lap back, which could become important later. But it is Simon Major, the new race leader, in that dramatic restart as he got past Dylan Richter, who then had a moment. And with the better pit stop time expected for the Cupra, they're 18 on the rivals. Could be interesting. Scott Parkin can't get away here, can he, at this stage of Major?
Well, he's just going to get his head down now. Well, probably quite a few other cars are going to make their way into the pits. Let's see if any of these cars do, or Simon Major's staying out. Darren Ball is staying out there as well.
Richter's in.
Richter is in. Probably the right thing to do, having been off the road as well on the previous lap. Just gives us a chance to just check the car over as well.
William Lynch
reset.
In. Will Buttigill is in. Colin Gillespie is in. So Buttigill, the Clubman Cup leader, in. That's important. How much damage? Or is it more grass that's the problem here for the Audi?
Some in the wheels, and just making sure it's not going to cause any overheating issues anywhere. That's the concern. Having been off the road.
Sorry, what was looking for could have been a 1-2 for Darkside today. It's less likely than what it looked earlier in the race.
Well, yeah, it might be the case that we can get neither of them in first or second, having looked like a very strong possibility. certainly before Scott Parkin's pit stop.
Another car, by the way, that pitted when the safety car came in was Tim Parsons in the Caterham. So that's 4 cars that presumably will be under investigation. We've got a battle for the lead because Darren Ball has caught 1.2 seconds to Simon Major. So was that touch? Has that caused a problem for Major's Cupra, I wonder? Parkin getting away, and Darren Ball, who was struggling really before the safety car came out, so we've got a new lease of life. He's got a race win, but could be on the cards. He does have to serve a slightly longer pit stop of 10 seconds compared to the car he is racing with, but he's going to give this a go in to lead before he comes into the pit lane, I think.
Yeah, nice little scrap going on here between the 2 Cupras. Out of the final corner they go, up to the timing line, and there's just under a quarter of a second between them. Luke Browse in 3rd position is gaining on them as well. He's just in a personal best lap of the race. He's in a 1:40.560, was 0.6 of a second faster than Darren Ball that time, so he's going to try and buy into this as well. He'll hand over to his father Paul for the second stage of the race.
Matthew Hampson has come in. He was a lap down though, I think, wasn't he? He'll hand over to Andy Schultz, who'll be quicker in that car, I'd imagine. Other cars that have come in, Matthew Stockford in the Audi. So we thought quite a lot of pit stops going through, but we've still got the top 5 leading cars on the lead lap yet to pit. And this great battle between these Cupras up front of Simon Major and Darren Ball. Darren Ball's another driver who's raced a lot of different cars in this championship over the years.
Yeah, he's raced BMWs, Porsches, and some others that I can't remember in the Club Enduro Championship. I mean, he started out in. Did he start out in compact?
I think so,
yeah. Ball? I think he did initially, quite a few years ago now.
This car's been driven by a few different people this year as well. Gillespie's been in it. Colin Gillespie, Alok Gingar has driven that car too over the course of the season.
Yeah, so and Luke Browse has taken a bit more time out of them on this lap as well, hasn't he? He's catching Darren Ball still. There's 2.5 seconds behind at the beginning of the lap. This was the car that came in when it shouldn't have done, Josh, isn't it? The 28th car.
And one of the leaders are going to get a penalty. The 55 Paul Simerson car is going to get a 60-second stop-go penalty for overtaking before the green flag. So that's another car that's in trouble. This car, I think they've got now a bigger problem than pitting when they shouldn't have done because the wheel won't come off.
Yeah.
So that's a drama. So there's lots of dramas going on all of a sudden. But at a point I was going to make over the loss now. But
it might come back to you later. That's what happens when you get older, Josh. Luke Browse took another chunk of time out of Darren Ball and took another second out of him. There goes Ryan Parkin now out into the race, then in the number 6 Darkside Developments car. So we'll see where he slots in the moment on the track behind the VW Scirocco.
It's come back to me. You mentioned that Luke Browse. He's going really well in this Cooper, isn't he? They've raced that M3 in the past.
Yes.
He seems to have got the hang of the Cooper really well. And he is right there in contention.
Quite a different beast, isn't it? Switching from rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive.
I imagine the Cooper is a little bit more driver-friendly than what the M3 was. It was a great car, that M3 they had.
Still trying to change the tyre in that 28 Volvo feature. This is the Simerson car that's in.
This is a pit stop rather than the penalty. This is an ex-Century Motorsport British GT car. Simerson broke his back last year at Spa in a Ferrari Challenge race and recovered, and now rather than racing I think in Ferrari Challenge wants to race for a bit of fun. He's got his mate Rich Stanton who's in his first season, and they have done the full year in the Tiguewa Club Enduro Championship. Hopefully they've enjoyed themselves, and the M4's been running well today.
There's the Class C leading car, the 195 car, 12th place overall now. Ashmore, that's the car that has won the championship, has had a pretty much unblemished record throughout the season in Class C. Ashmore and Sam Dennis winning all of the races and getting fastest lap in all of them as well. Just couldn't quite pick up maximum points in their class at Alton Park because there wasn't enough starters, but otherwise could have had a perfect scoring record.
So I reckon Alan Blenko after the stops is 30 seconds ahead of Ryan Parkin. So as Parkin had a 20-second longer stall, that's going to be pretty tight with Middleton when he takes over from Major in the coupe leads. The two Class B cars, you said you thought 2 laps would be the pit stop time, and it must be exactly that, because Will Butterfield, now Chris Nyland, is exactly 2 laps behind Matthew Tidmarsh, who's yet to pit and he's trying to unlap himself. He's on the inside line into Coppice, and now it's 2 laps minus about a metre or so in.
Yeah, for the moment at least it's minus a metre. We'll see if they can close it. So I wonder when Tidmarsh is going to come in to hand over to Chris Webster. He's trying to sort of relap the number 83 Honda, but couldn't quite manage it down at the Fogarty S's. So the great car of Tidmarsh. I think there's we've made that one before on the car in 12th position, number 9, the Simmons car.
I think it had a black and white driving standards, so I think it was right across track limits, but he's been Simmons. He hasn't pitted yet, so he's simply for a pit stop.
It's 5 seconds penalty that's been added to his time.
Gillespie's still in the pit lane. This is a long stop in the Gulf. We thought that was going to come into contention, but that's going to happen now.
The 28 car now with Josh Lawton, of course, back out into the race, presumably having managed to change that punctured tyre. I was wondering when this car was going to come in, and it's coming at the next possible opportunity. So Matthew Tidmarsh will come in to hand over to Chris Webster. They're up to 4th position overall. There's only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, cars that are still running, but have yet to make their pit stops now.
3 of them are major contenders, aren't they, for the overall victory? With Luke Browns in 3rd, Darren Hall 2nd, and Simon Major the leader. They're all going to be in contention with Alan Blenko and Ryan Parkin. Ethan Simmons is pitting now. I think he had fallen about half a minute behind Ashmore. There's a lot of steam from the Ginetta, isn't there?
I think it's just heat, I think, coming off the brakes probably in particular in that car. That's the 171 car, that's one of the cars that's yet to make a stop, which is the E30 BMW.
It's not the oldest car on the grid.
It probably is, isn't it? Senna Osborne and Jody Halson 325i 2.5 litre car for the drivers from Kent.
The car changed livery since earlier in the year. I feel like I've seen some pictures of the car looking different.
Yeah, I think you may be right. But it looks very smart, doesn't it? Whatever. And it's nice to have some variety on this Enduro with lots of the more modern cars, the TCR cars, and other cars of a similar era, but it's nice to see something a little bit different.
You can see behind Scott Parkin is charging on, trying to make up for lost time. Might be all in vain really, because there's a big gap to catch. But he's in the 39s, it's the quickest car out. I don't think anyone else has been in the 39 all race, have they? Parkin is going to try and do similar laps to that for the rest of the duration. He's going to make up some positions. Here's our provisional champion. There. Oh, here's the steam was perhaps a bit more here from the Ginetta.
Yes, that's like coolant, something that's pouring out of the car. So that could prove to be a big problem for the erstwhile front runners in the class. Drivers back in the car. Looks like we're going to get it back out into the race and see what happens, I guess. So it's been taken over by Chris Webster now. Chris has just been in to make his pit stop.
Yeah, Matthew Tidmarsh has just jumped in the cockpit, so he's having a chat with Chris, I think. Alan Blenko's up to 4th now, leading pit stopper. So there's our provisional championship winning car, unbeaten in Class C this year. I don't think anyone's been unbeaten in Club Enduro history. So this has been a mighty effort by Ashmore and Sam Dennis. It just goes to show you can win this championship without having to spend a huge amount of money in Class C for the much less powerful cars. It set a new lap record again. They've done that about every venue this year. 1 minute 47 for Ashmore. 1:47.177 as the the best lap, and that puts it a couple of seconds almost under Rowan Lundy's previous time. So Chris Webster's on his way. Is fluid trailing the car? I don't think it is. So perhaps it's just where it was stationary.
Yeah. So fingers crossed for them. It's going to be all good to go.
Blanco still 29 seconds ahead of Ryan Parkin, who is now in a 39th himself. So Ryan Parkin is charging on. There's Alan James, just got himself up ahead of Andy Shepherd in that BMW M2, which is one of the cars which we think will have an investigation overhanging their race for the pit stop. But has it got a splitter that's just dropped down a millimetre or so? Kind of a second in the race, he's almost overlapping as Luke Browse draws alongside Darren Ball, the two Cupras. And yeah, I think that got quite tight. Alan Blenko is trying to unlap himself. He's got himself ahead of these two cars on that lap, I think. He's lapping, in the 41s, these are in the 42s and 3s, but Luke Browse has done it. He's got himself up ahead of Darren Ball into second place.
Yes, he has now, so that's a good effort from him.
I saw when we saw that earlier shot, Claire Norton intently watching what was going on, and that's probably what was happening, wasn't it? When Alan Blanco was trying to put a lap on the ball, unlap himself from these two cars. It's crucial not to get caught up, is it? Because we think these cars will have a pit stop which will last about 2 laps.
Yeah, that's right. There's Gillespie still in the pits, I think. Been there for a long time now. Yes, he's got down to 25th. On the time has been available because of about 7 laps behind. So Gillespie's at the moment. Feet at the sharp end here.
Right. They're the 3 Cupras. Top 4 cars are Cupras, aren't they, at this stage?
Yes.
Major, Ball, Browse and Blenko.
It's going to be quite an interesting race, this, isn't it?
Waiting for these last pit stops to see how it will play out. Darren Ball has got an extra 10 seconds for success compensation time, so that might draw him away from this battle. So where Alan Blanco plays, and that's the big question really at this stage. And he is lapping quicker than Luke Browse, about the same time.
Browse coming in to hand over to his father Paul, we assume. Anyway, to his father Paul from what would become second position, and Darren Ball has followed him in as well. So these two drives that were in second and third, stopping at exactly the same time. So will they go out in the order in which they arrived? We'll find out in 3 minutes or so.
The Stoke Market last livery is really good one. It worked well on the BMW and it works well on the Cupra too.
Yeah, and it always gets them plenty of mentions on the commentary as well, to just in your face, isn't it? So they get plenty of advertising.
Different colour to motor race cars, and that's something that stands out as always a good thing. So fuel going in. Ethan Simmons, who was going well,
is driving home, I think. He's about to leave the circuit at the Melbourne hairpin. He was, well, he got that penalty, had to track limits penalty.
I think he was still second in Class C before he pulled off.
Yeah, that's a great shame for him. Normal hands to the deck there, trying to get the car back out. Looks like the Class C champion, the champion go back out. Okay, so Sam Dennis taking over.
As you might expect, after the pit stop for American Kinross and Chris Webster, they're half a minute behind Western Island for Podium seconds. Success compensation time.
Back end of the race goes Sam Dennis, just in front of Alan James, as it now is, the Audi. That's up to 8.
Lenko clear of the traffic was half a second quicker than Simon Major, and that could be the battle for the win yet. This looks like Scott Parkin's about a minute behind Ryan, so that's the chase that's going on there. He's walked past Alan James first.
Yeah.
Battle for 10th on the screens there. Rich Stanton and Andy Schultz. I suspect Schultz will be quick with much more experienced. Stanton only in his first season, he's 40-year-old from Warwickshire. Schultz has been racing since 1989. Former 750 Motor Club Formula 4 champion. Right. Andy Schultz. racing from the Ford C-Tech, racing the Football Endurance Series, so he's a super experienced driver. Probably the most experienced driver on this grid, I would think. And he's about to get 10th position rather, away from Rich Stanton.
Yep, so two similar cars there, swapping positions. And should make it close if we make it in more places. Possibly catch the Adley Golf, I suspect.
James Pickford's got himself up to third in Class B, I notice, but he is about a minute behind Chris Webster, so I don't think I get any further. His lap time is only a couple of tenths slower than the Podium Island Civic, so very competitive. Split as you might expect.
Down ball, sure to get back out in place. Just at the back end, you see a glimpse of the green looking for Paul Brown's car.
So where's Alan Blenko in 444?
Of course, it should be, yeah, the green car, the Brown's car's now gone back out into the race. So
Blenko just crossed the line, so it's going to be really close.
Here comes Browns, then Paul Brown's has taken over the car.
Blenko's out of cockpits, out of the red gate rubber, so he's ahead.
So there we go, yeah, they just about see them in the distance.
It's going to be really close from the Middleton Scott where Alan Blenko is.
Exactly, yeah, and obviously Darren will have that extra time to serve in the pits, another 20 seconds, another 10 seconds, sorry, so that's why he's not out just yet, not quite in contention here, but we'll see if he can make up some time. Final half an hour or so.
Blenko's shooting through the shot there. Yeah, he's about 5 seconds or so ahead of Paul Browse.
Yeah, interesting to see what lap Paul is able to do compared to Luke. Luke's best was a 1:43.515. Blanco's done a 1:41.575. I'm not expecting Paul to be faster than that. I'm surprised by that, but that would suggest that puts Blanco in a good position.
Blanco's averaging a 41.6, Ryan Parkin a 40.8. He's 27 seconds behind now. I don't think he's got enough laps I think to catch. So it's going to be between the Coopers for the win, I think.
Blanco's just on 1:47.7. I think that's 1:45.60. But he's probably expecting Blanco to be faster off to runs in the remaining part of this race. A penalty now for the Simpson and Stanton car. That's a 5-second penalty for exceeding traffic conditions. Stanton's totally over.
Those potential penalties overhanging cars, I don't think that's a major position.
I don't think they will be, no, Josh, because obviously let's head down to pit lane now. It's going to be Browns who's going to speak to next time.
He just jumped over number 22, so that was a fantastic start. A long one, but you did a really good job. Yeah, not too bad. He was on that really well, and then after about 34 minutes, the car out on the back straight. So to a big reset, we got the sins. Obviously, safety car really saved us there. We can choose that again, reset. So yeah, we're good. We'll try and yeah, we're going. And you're running in a really good position. You're inside the top 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, I'm not sure where we're going to have it. I've got pit stops on the triple 4 car, obviously a pit before us with new tyres, and he came back on the rated not, so I think we're going to run by him, and yeah, we'll just see how it pans out. It's definitely nervous though, so 10 minutes to just really to calm down a little bit, so let's see where we're actually seeing. I love it when we jumped over the line, got straight onto the edge, James got the change of tyres, and it was kind of just you lot doing it all together. Yeah, we love endurance racing, but we're a small team, and yeah, they definitely needed new tyres after that first stint. Definitely, he can. If we're inside the top 4 or 5, we'll be really, really happy with that. Hopefully, Paul's got fresh tyres now, so he can just get some, maintain some stuff on laps, and just settle in. And yeah, it's always difficult when you go with 30 minutes to go. You know, everyone else has been in the car. So hopefully, it benefits him. He's fresh ready to go. Great job. We'll let you get back to it again. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks, Matt. Great to hear there from Luke Browse. Dad at the wheel now. Paul Browse did the 43s on his first flyer, so Not quite as quick as Alan Blenko and Simon Mays, but he's doing okay. He's 8.7 seconds ahead of Darren Paul, so Podium isn't out of the question still here at all. Ryan Barker quicker than the pair of them in 5th place and chasing. So the win, it looks like it's going to be between Justin Middleton and Alan Blenko. Advantage Blenko, I think he's lapping quicker than Simon Mays. He's actually keep catching him on the road, isn't he? That's what we're looking here. The top two in the race, 2 laps between them, but with about a 2-lap pit stop to come for that car there, the 18 car that leads for Simon Mays still. They've still got 18 minutes when he can make that pit stop. So they're handing it out. Be a short stint for Justin Middleton. We'll see how much pace he has got in comparison to Alan Blenko, whether they're changed tyres and have a fresh tyre run to the end. We heard that from Luke Brown, how much of a difference that would make.
Yeah, absolutely. Quite a strong wheel that you have to make a stop. Besides the leading car is the Osborne House.
It's coming in while you're reading the score.
Perfect. So there he is heading down the pit lane now. Second one. Respects in the pit lane speed limit, which is good to see. It's stopwatch pulling in inside the garage and
I see Podium might be out of the question for that car. That would be a good result if they could manage it. Looks like Tom Steadman and Mike Cooper are going to go up to second. Should be an excellent result for them. There's May just sliding around on those older tyres. Alan Blenko continuing to chase the 47-year-old from Wiltshire, looking to win a 750 motor race, I think for the first time in 25 years. That would be quite a feat, and see if he manages it, that would be, I think, the first win for a female driver in the ticket of the Enduro Championship. Being a history-making moment.
There's been one before. That would be an excellent result indeed.
That might help her get the race cup award, I would think.
Yeah, potentially so. Driving Stones fans going out to climb up the through now. That's the restricted to classes K through 7.
Here's Parkin. Scott Parkin. He's 6th now, 55 seconds behind his brother Ryan. He's averaging a couple of tenths of a second a lap quicker. But not a result going to come out of this. He'll be glad that he wrapped up the championship provisionally last time out at Alton. So that would have been more difficult. Down into the right-hand field hairpin for last year's champion, Scott Parkin. He's passed Alan James now, 6th.
Yeah, we go towards McLean's once again.
We're going to have a lot of cars in the league, haven't we, which we've never had before, I reckon.
Yeah, quite a few potentially.
Typical 88. See when it will rather than
yeah, it's been a competitive race, hasn't it? So, and that sort of issue the pit lane, that sort of slightly messed up things for Scott Parkin. But
didn't mess up with the entertainment of the race,
no, it's pretty added to the entertainment of the race, I'd say. There is a neutrals. The next car's going on lap is going to be the Patron. We're going to head down to pit lane once again now. Matt Pacific is going to be
Matthew Tidmarsh down here in the pit lane, doing all the maths for you, Ian, so you don't have to do it yourself.
That's very good of him, isn't it? But I've still got a spreadsheet, and we'll keep that running. Probably when we get into all the pit stops done, it's worth just trying to stop some points to that spreadsheet just to see how everything is going to work out. There is the car of the driver we were talking to, just behind that one actually. There is the race leader on track. That's the major car. He's going to hand over to Justin Middleton probably quite soon now, maybe even this lap. But we were just talking to Matthew Tidmarsh, who co-drove the lower range Gillette at this Webster. He's just disappeared over the crest of the hill in.
Just a sort of glimpse there of Paul Browse, who's now 5.7 seconds ahead of Darren Ball. And on the last lap was quicker than Alan Blanco with Paul Browse, so like son Luke, both enjoying this car. Blanco now caught up behind behind Simon Major, who's still got to hand that one over, as you were saying, Ian. And he has pulled out generally more over Paul Browse, a gap 12 seconds. Darren Ball the quickest of all at the moment in the 41s. It's 4.3 seconds behind Paul Browse. So the podium position's really up for contention, because there Ryan Parkin's only a further 8 seconds behind Darren Ball. See, there's been some comments in the chat about these Darkside cars and saying how good they've developed these diesel machines. They're not really doing any pollution, are they, out the back, unlike diesel race cars traditionally have done. So these two cars fantastically developed. They're really quick cars. And Darkside Development is a great partner as one of the 750 Motor Club in promoting a lot of the championships events as well.
Absolutely, yes. We used to have a few diesel cars in the VW Cup, didn't we? Several of them used to sort of spew sort of plenty of black smoke out of the back of the van on the VW Cup as well. The different vans that were used in the VW Cup as well over the years. I think it was just a van-less increment Enduro.
We had the old Joel's Lock car was bought, wasn't it? And it had a big crash in Road Sports at that in Silverstone, I think on its first outing, and I think it was pretty destroyed.
Yeah.
So yeah, we never had one in Club Enduro. Don't really think we had any estates or anything like that. I don't think so.
Any estates these days, do you? No. 25 minutes or so to go. So Major's got only about 10 minutes to go before we have to make the stop. The window closes.
Darren Ball on a charge around the outside of the traffic, and he's almost caught Paul Browse. That gap was 4 seconds at the start of the lap.
7/10 now, isn't it? That's
I wonder if Paul Browse was a bit caught up in lapping Andy Shepherd's BMW in 8th position there, and that's really brought Darren Ball back to him. The battle for 3rd place in the race. The Browse, I don't think they've had a podium before, have they, in the ECU Club Enduro Championship? They've had some decent results this year though. Just lapping the MX-5. Darren Ball, he's been on the podium before. He'd like to be on the podium again. He was 3rd, wasn't he, last time out at Alton Park.
And also Grant was earlier in the year as well.
And the chase, well and truly, isn't he? They're 16 seconds behind Alan Blanco now. So I think the race win is out of the question. It's all hopping over the curbs out McLean. Browse defended. And if you defend too much, Ryan Parkin can close. He's only 8 seconds behind.
Yeah, he's going to just appear any moment over the crest of the hill. Don't quite stay Lincoln long enough on that shot to see that, but he should be in the background shortly, down towards the S as they come. Foxy S is getting past the stunning Honda.
Can't skittering around on the brakes, Darren Ball. So, we have ABS. In the ABS sliding around on the brakes. Now around the outside into the Melbourne hairpin comes Darren Ball in the Williams Motor Company liveried car. That championship. And he's still trying to make a way past Paul Browse on the outside. Browse all over the curb. The Cater's ahead of Richard Mitchell, who's going to feel very small in a moment. There's two Cooper that made contact, I'm afraid. And Richard Mitchell's got caught up in that, no fault of his own. Paul Browse's car's in the wall. Darren Ball has carried on. Ryan Parkin's obviously going to join in, but well, I feared it could get a bit tight for Richard Mitchell. I don't think we were expecting that. There's Mark Rice's car's coming into the pit lane in a plume of smoke. What a drama. It's very much on at the moment.
It's all happening right underneath as well, because the Paul Browse car has come to a stop only about 50 yards away from our commentary. If that, Darren Ball did continue, but he may well have picked up damage to his car. But yes, it's a shame that that has ended that way.
If the safety car isn't called before Major gets to the pit lane, which Blenko will be hoping it will be, but can he make his pit stop as well if the safety car does get called before the window closes?
I don't know what the rules are. I'm not sure that the bold underlined text on these instructions is explicit about what happens there.
Not been called yet. If it doesn't, before they get there, this will be a major advantage. I know safety car is out, or it's on our screen for something. The safety car is on the circuit.
Yeah, it's now showing on the screens on the lighting panel. So safety car is out. So Simon Major is just too far away to really be able to pit this time. You cannot legitimately, according to the laws of the race, pit this time and he stays out. And he's got to gamble on this being cleared in 7 and a bit minutes.
Well, less than that because he can't pit the lap the safety car comes in.
Exactly. I'm not quite sure what the rules are.
This is always the problem if you go pit too late in a safety car period. So the safety car is out as you would expect. For that incident on the start and finish line.
Yes, so the as well heading to the seat to check over the drivers that are still in their cars at the moment of the central round that
Richard Mitchell's given a thumbs up to the Darkside, so that's good news.
I imagine that both have, which is why the marshals were standing aside. The rescue vehicle, MSV rescue vehicle, is now arriving on the scene as well. It's a bit of a smoky pit lane after the Grice car came in. So we've got medical cars stopped on the start and finish straight as well. We've got 20 minutes of the race left to go. The safety car has picked up the 83 car, which is the car that is leading in Class B of Chris Nyland now at the wheel of that car.
Richard Mitchell climbing out of his car, so he's okay, which is news for Richard. A surprising moment for him and the car.
Yes.
A couple of times and that car is due to be out to Birkin, I think. I know it's a routine for that.
It's crossed that will be back out in a couple of weeks' time. So the queue fully up behind the Renault Megane safety car here at Donington Park in this TD World Club Championship race. Both drivers now out of their cars, which is good news. So the question now is how quickly these cars can be recovered. There's 20 minutes of the race left to go.
The safety car not going to be in. We'll have a lap done before 15 minutes to go.
No.
For sure. So I don't know. Get some confirmation of what might happen in regards to that pit stop. We haven't had anything from the others that pitted the lap that the safety car came in, have we? In the Club Cup, by the way, and the Class B and C leaders are both Motion Motorsport cars, so what a day they are having. What is the point difference there between those two? Coming in on drop scores, that was 2, wasn't it? So Puttingill's car is one in favour.
So if this car can't make a stop, it's going to get a 5-lap penalty, isn't it? I think.
You think that?
Based on the reading of the rules. I mean, I'm just going to message now to see if we can get any the ruling on that.
If Giles might be able to help out with that. Potentially busy in the pit lane. So Darren Ball is on the screen now, has moved up to 3rd. Ryan Parkin is 4th. Scott Parkin is 5th. And Alan James is 6th. So I reckon we're going to get 5 cars on the lead lap in the end. The other thing that hasn't happened yet is getting the leader behind the safety car.
Yeah. Oh, how far?
Oh, so then we will have 6 cars on the lead lap because Alan James will be there, I think. So that, if we get 6 cars on the lead lap, that's a very impressive number, I think.
It is. So 18 and a half minutes of the race left to go. We're on the safety car here in the TD World Club Enduro Championship. After the screen together between Darren Ball and Paul Browse as the cars exited the hairpin. It came on to the start and finish straight, the Whitcroft straight, and resulted in Paul Brower's Cupra heading off into barriers, also collecting on the way the Caterham of Richard Mitchell. And both of those cars, Mitchell and Paul Brower's, are stranded on the grass on the side of the circuit just beyond the start line. The medical car and the rescue vehicle, those have both disappeared now. Probably just taking a drive to the medical centre for checks, as would be normal in those situations. So it's now about the recovery of the car. I don't think any sort of barrier damage or anything like that to worry about. It was kicking the top of the wall.
Too much, is it?
So
I'm sure that's the mark on there.
I don't think I saw that mark earlier. That may be Paul Brower's car here.
Probably better than that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, so that vehicle is here. I think that's going to try and deal with the Paul Brower's car first, and Marshall's trying to handle the Caterham out of the way.
Yes.
Way around. Because that probably is.
So when should we have 15 minutes to go? I think TSL are putting into the system the penalties, won't they? I would think. So hopefully it'll become obvious before the race is finished. Well, Justin Middleton, I hope he hasn't put too much of a budget towards his programme because he hasn't done much driving. If he's going to drive at all in this race.
Yes, it's a bit unlikely, isn't it? As to what might happen.
I don't really know why you would leave your pit stop so late, because there's always this risk that there could be a safety car period.
Yeah. I think the word is that we think it probably would be a five lap penalty for not making it stop. Because yes, there is always the risk, isn't there, that if you leave it too late. So although, what it effectively means is that although the window closes 15 minutes from the end of the race, you probably always have to build in a little bit of a comfort blanket there, don't you? Just for safety.
Need to leave your pit stop so late.
No.
And strategically, as we've seen from Adam Blenko and Claire Norman, it's always better to stop earlier in these races. Don't need any strategical gain from getting late.
So all that car out of contention now.
What can Ryan Parker do in the restart, and possibly Scott too, that car between them? They are both quick. They are quicker than the Cupras in their Audis. They've been in the 139. It depends how many racing laps we get.
They've got the Caterham up against the barrier, and they seem to be happy to leave that there. And they are still dragging away the Cupra rails. Just a pit lane window, normally closed in about 20 seconds time.
We're going to have t-shirts here at Donington.
Oh, did it? Probably the fleet on it. And now there's a vehicle into the contention. Assistance of the SV pickup truck.
Window closed, confirmation on our screens, and the racing leader has not pitted. So, I think it's Garage 36 where the team played. Might be down there and seeing what sort of reaction they have.
Yeah, so that's going to be so we've got treble 4 points to effectively then in the lead, which is Blanco, take over Claire Norman, Darren Ball 25, second, Dylan Richter, Parking at third, Scott Parking at fourth, James Matthew Stockford will be fifth. Is that the car coming down the pit lane? Was that yes, it was. The major car has just come into the pit, so it's A, done it behind the safety car, and B, done it outside the pit window. Is that a 10-lap penalty? I don't know. Yes, in 6th place it's Stockford and James, 7th it's Fenwick and Shepherd, 8th it's Anthony Jones, 9th it's Hadley, 10th it's Simerson and Stanton. Class B being led by Pascal and Milan from Marshall Webster and Wilson and Pickford. Class C being led by Moore and Dennis from Several Cooper and Oscar and Patterson with the BMW E30 series.
So, on average in this stint, Blenko's done a 41.6, Ball's done a 41.5, Ryan Parkin's done a 41.0, Scott Parkin's done a 40.4. So the top 4 or who will be the top 4 in this race. I've got the 5-lap penalties coming in now for 10, 27, 28 and 193. But so yeah, my point is the top 4 in the race here, Ian, they are in reverse order of their pace in this stint. So this race isn't over yet, assuming we do get to the race back underway.
Yeah, and those 5-lap penalties were people that made Scott's by following the safety car in when, on the 2 occasions, it was out in the middle of the race.
We've got the penalty to be awarded for our leader, haven't we? Yeah. They might just do the pit stop as quick as they can, really, shouldn't they?
Yes. I mean, probably would have been better not to have made it at all if they could have got to the end, I suppose.
Well, unless Justin Middleton wants to do some driving.
Not very much driving.
What's the clause in the contract? So, assuming Chris and Ireland gets way through, that will give them a big advantage over Janetta, won't it? If it doesn't get way through, we've got a Class B battle. I know some endurance championships, the rules is just pick up a class leader because that's what we've got here, is a class leader. They're still doing the 3 minutes, but they're not trying to break everything.
No, anyway, it's a bit of a shame because they've gone really well, and had that safety car not happened, they would have been with a real chance, I think, of if not winning, and certainly being in the top 3.
Missed out on the battle between Justin Middleton and Alan Blenko, which we were expecting, but we might have a different battle instead between Alan Blenko, Darren Ball, Ryan Parkin and Scott Parkin.
It's just a question of how much racing we're going to get though, isn't it?
Yeah.
With 11 and a half minutes left to go. Oh, that's checking the time. Checking that they've done 3 minutes. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what someone says in the pit lane. Yeah, so anyway, pushing the car back out into the race, and they will enjoy with 11 minutes left to go. Safety car still out. I think the circuit is now clear as far as I can tell from my finished box window. I can't see anything else out there.
Are we going to wave the cars we're going to get?
See what's going on. Oh, and now Lifton is being left at the end of the pit lane. So cars are heading, cars heading down the Melbourne loop at the moment. See whether we're going to get away through or not. Safety car lights are still out. We've got 2-lap penalty for having their engine running in the pit stop, so that's the rule we hadn't thought about.
Are there any rules in this pit stop rule book that they haven't broken?
Oh right, they've done the wave through because they go.
But Alan Blenko's been waved. That has not gone well for the race.
Well, and that's because that was the leading car. The 18 car was still the leader on the timing screen. Major and Middleton.
But Darren Ball is behind the safety car. He hasn't been waved through.
Okay, well, this is not going well. So there's the Middleton car as it now is. That is continuing on its way.
They've got now a 5-lap penalty.
5-lap penalty. So is that 7 laps?
Yeah.
Did say I might not have been joking about that 10 laps earlier on. So the safety car's now picked up Darren Ball in the 25 car, which is the car that will normally be in second place once all of the penalties have been applied.
So this race that win might have just be happening with it.
Yes.
Hopefully Alan Blenko was being waved through and he didn't go past anyway.
Yes, that's what he should do. See it happen.
Fingers crossed that didn't happen.
So, yeah, anyone's going to see what's going on here. We've been only 9 minutes of this TD1 Enduro Championship race here at Donington.
I presume you agree that
I'll get the spreadsheet out. I probably can do that now. I've got a minute or two. So how many points they're going to figure in? Let's assume 15 for Podium. Robin Fingal, Dennis, they're going to get 12. Nothing for one for Trumpy and Blaisdell. Some Hayes to be on the So yeah, I would go for that by point. I think they'll get the Republic Cup.
What are we doing then about the rest of the race? Is the next question. If the lights are still on, we're not looking to wave anybody else through seemingly. So on the road, Justin Middleton's the leader. he's got a load of penalty. Blenko is second. Darren Ball is third, isn't it? Behind the safety car.
Yeah.
I think it would be much easier just to keep the Class B leader behind the safety car.
With the benefit of hindsight, yes.
I don't really, but then the safety car lights are out. And so for Alan Blenko for Claire Norman, Alan's just over quite comfortably, hasn't he? No risk on this restart. Just drive around for a few laps.
Yeah. So, safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap. There's 7.5 minutes of the race left to go. It's being led effectively by the trouble full car of Alan Blenko. 25 lap more in second place.
What this
Right car in third.
what it does mean, Ian, is Chris Snyder versus Chris Webster's on for the Class B league. They both got way through, so more than just Alan Blenko got way through in that. So the Class B lead battle is on, and obviously the second place in the race is on because Ryan Parkin is chasing after Darren Ball with 4 laps, I think, of the race to go.
Yeah, so the 4 laps, that's about right, isn't it? Safety car has come in. Darren Ball then is the first car that catches all of these green flags. He's got Ryan Parkin now chasing after him. So this is the battle for second place then, with Ryan Parkin to close in over the remaining 4 laps of the race. Down through the Crater curves and towards the old hairpin they will go. And then it is going to be Scott Parkin, isn't it? That will be in 4th position. Got some blue flags as well, so there's a back mark to be able to take as well with the cars as the restart takes place. So up towards McLean's they go, and Parkin's the corner. Parkin, catching Bullets at racing points here, says that he will have a chance to do so in the remaining 3 laps.
There are penalties. This time Fennick and Shepherd had already got 5, haven't they?
Yes.
But this is another rule that's been broken. This time driving in the car. The last one in the car was the engine. People have forgotten the rules. It's not rather than championship. And people have been doing the championship really all season. So
down into Melbourne Hairpin go the second and third place car, Darren Ball and Richter. Alan Blenko has been across the line to complete his 57th lap. And the next 2 are about to come through. Black and white from Darkside Garage car 169. That's the Cinematic Manson MX-5. They had a black and orange flag earlier, so they've collected flags during the course of this race. So as they come across the line with probably 3 laps to go now, they're still showing his motor leading on the screen, of course. But they have got that penalty. So it's Blenko who is basically 2/3 of a lap ahead of Darren Ball, having been sort of released by the safety car mistakenly, I think. It's Ryan Parkin in 3rd place, 2.4 seconds behind, and then Scott Parkin 4th, 12.4 seconds behind is the twin.
for Class B, Chris Webster is 2.6 seconds behind Chris Snyder, was half a second quicker on that lap. Chase is on in Class B.
Yeah, so that's that big change around. So here's Scott Parkin, and that's the 55 car, which is a lap down. Several cars to have penalties. There's the race leader going through 444, which is Blenko. The thing is, I suppose the checker flag still is going to get shown here to Justin Middleton, isn't it?
Although on the lap normally before, then black penalties get applied on the screen, so we could get a point where we can get which car needs a checkered flag. Who knows?
All going to be a very confusing finish to this to the World Cup Enduro Championship. Just as well, the championship was resolved at Alton Park in the last meeting, when it was not up and down to this.
It's been a good race for it, hasn't it? There's the leader on the road, just ahead of Alan James, who is 6th for the moment, but will be a top 5 finish with that penalty that will be applied to Justin Middleton. And by the looks of things, if the race had run naturally, Alan Blenko is quite a lot more pace than Justin Middleton. He closed in by a number of seconds on the previous lap. There he is. looking for they haven't had a podium, have they? Claire Norman and Alan Blenko, but the race win looks on here with a couple or so laps to go for the 444 car.
Yeah, so they've crossed the line with 3 minutes and change remaining, so it is going to be 2 more laps to go, isn't it, for Alan Blenko, you think? There's the orange Porsche. Just being left by Blenko.
Sam Dennis, who was second in the Club and Cup, dropped to 4th because Ed Cook in the Sirocco for a good result, up to second in the Club and Cup, and who just mentioned, up to 3rd. Sam Dennis has dropped to 4th in the Club and Cup, which is even more proof that William Buttergill, Chris Nyland and Ryan Bensley will be Club and Cup champions this year.
I think if you've already won the overall championship, though, then you're not too worried about the really.
Social media, and that was one of the things they were looking for, to see if they could take everything. Well, Motor Motorsport's going to win a lot, aren't they? Because they would get both. Alan Blenko, who's got himself ahead of Justin Middleton then and onto the lead lap, but at the time it's been shown, but we know that the penalties are coming for the 18 machine. So we're going to have 1 more lap to go at the end of this, and this will be 3rd different winning car, 4th different winning car this year. It's got Parkin, it's had both 3 wins. Brands Hatch, Snefton and Norton Park. James Collins and Joel Oswald won the opener at Croft, and Ryan Parkin did a Brixton won at Silverstone. So despite the Coupe has been one of the most numerous cars in Class A, they haven't actually won any races this season. I'm not sure if they've won a race since we had Cole Swift in one. So going back to days of a few seasons ago. Other cars are quicker, but the Coopers are reliable and more numerous. So Alan Blenko on to the final lap of the season. I think despite how the restart went, it was the car that was on course and taking the victory, but Alan Blenko's taking no victory. Lap times are much higher than they were. It's going to be a deserving win. Claire Norman drove well in the first stint, didn't she? Kept the car in contention, and they got the right strategy. They were the guys that came in before the pit whip, before the safety cars come out, made an early stop. They know that's a strategical call to make, and then Alan Blenko pushed on, kept the car in contention, and then it's mid to the left where it matters, and he has half a lap to go. We're not sure what car's going to get the checkered flag in all of this, so they might have another lap to go at the end of this if it is moved to the 18 machine. But history's going to be made. First female winner of a Tikiro Club Enduro race with Norman, and Alan Blenko taking his first win in a 750 motorcycle race, I think, for 25 years when he raced in stock patch.
Darren Ball and Ryan Parkin just got across the line, still separated by about 2.4 seconds. They are lapped to within 6 1,000ths of a second of one another on the last lap. They are going to be Alan Blenko, as the clock now counts down to 0, emerges from the Goddard's hairpin. The Melbourne hairpin heads up towards Goddard's, as I say. Now, is he going to see the checkered flag this time or not? Round Goddard he goes. Are we going to get a checkered flag, or are we going to get one more lap? He's flashing his lights, and the checkered flag is not. Yes, it is shown. Yes, it's showing on our type of screen.
But it got shown to the 18 car. And Blenko has to do another lap, although he'd be classified anyway, won't he? Because you don't not get classified.
Yes.
So slightly weird end there to the season.
Yeah, so it is. It did get shown to the 18 car, but that penalty has now been applied to it. So when he actually does get back round to take the checkered flag, it will be the treble 4 car. Now, the way he was flashing his lights did make it think that he was taking it that time.
Well, it might be worth to do another lap, although I don't think it'll make a difference to the result, will it? Because you don't have to finish an endurance race to be classified.
Exactly. No, typically nice to do that though. But so we've not yet had any of the front runners actually take the checkered flag yet, which is rather bizarre.
We have had William Buttergill and Chris Nyland through though to win Class B for the 3rd time this season, the 1st time for Chris Nyland, but the Club and Cup title for that car. But here's about a second here.
Yeah, and it's coming over the line now. It's going to be Darren Ball that takes 2nd place. Gap came down by about a second on the last lap to 1.4 seconds between Ball and Ryan Parkin. So they take 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be Scott Parkin across the line of 4th. So 3-4, not quite the 1-2 that Darkside Developments were hoping for here. and then and Schultz car comes across the line in 6th place. That had a good second half of the race with Simon Schultz. Got a board taking over from Matt Hampson. Headlights showing very brightly. Looking forward to the single-seater race next. To round out the weekend here at Donington Park. We've had 5th place through now. That was Stockford and James. James has been in that top players.
He's the winner going to come into the pit lane because I think Alan Blanco has slowed down on this lap. How do we get that on our screen? Officially, he hasn't taken the checkered flag, Alan Blanco, to win the race.
No, he hasn't.
Here he comes.
Is he going to take the checkered flag? He is going to take the checkered flag, just to make sure. And he's now got to do another lap, so it's going to be a long time before Matt Suckling gets to him. And maybe the class winners then before we hear.
Oh, it's Claire.
Yes, right here from Claire, she's in the right. You can see Matt down at the end of the pit lane. I can see the Podium and Nyland car slotting into the positions at the end of the pit lane, where Matt is going to hopefully speak to them. And very shortly we should have the Class C car heading in, Flashmore and Sanders as well. But confirmation of the results, which is not what is on your screen. So the result which I've got off TSL top speed is 4:44. Norman and Blanco as well as from number 25 Darren Ball in 2nd place. In 3rd place was number 6 Dylan Briggs and Ryan Parkin. 4th place number 1 Scott Parkin. 5th to number 78 Matthew Stockford and Alan Jones. In 6th place number 69 Matthew Hampson and Andy Schultz. 7th to number 2 that was Jamie Hadley. 8th place to number 55 Paul Simonson and Richard Stanton. 9th place to number 176 William Lynch. 10th Alan Woodward, Class B, the number 83 car off Putigal and Nyland. Then it was Tid Marshall up to 2nd in Class B. Lawson in Class C were Tom Stedman and Hooper, and then 3rd in Class C, Senna Osman and Jodie House to complete our podiums in the 3 different classes. And the rest of the results will run through, and the Tagiwa Club Enduro Championship comes to an end. It's been won by Ashmore and Sam Dennis. They wrapped that up at Alton Park last time out, but they've gone out with another win in Class C. Class B, Putigal and Nyland taking the win on this occasion, but they couldn't overhaul Marsh and Webster in the Class B Championship. And of course Scott Parkin was already confirmed as the Class A champion as well. So it's going to get very busy down there in pit lane. I'm sure there'll be lots of discussion about all kinds of topics after the race, but let's hear now from our class winners and hopefully our overall winner as well, with Matt Suckling, who's down in the pit lane.
Thanks, Ian. Yep, down here with Chris Nylon, who takes Class B. You're the first one we get back because we're still waiting for the race winner. But well done, Chris. Class B victory in the final round of the year.
Yeah, Class B victory, which is, it's been a hard season this season, so that to end on that, I'm really, really happy with that. And I believe we've got the Clubman Cup as well, so even better. So it's like 2 in 1. Brilliant. Yeah, fantastic.
Happy drivers, happy team as well, I imagine.
Yeah, honestly, I won't bore you with the details, but we've had some DNFs this year, so this is for the team who've worked so hard to get us out and for me to finish today, and the car was absolutely on fire. It was brilliant.
And you had a really healthy lead by the looks of it in Class B before the safety car. Of course, safety car came out, that gap then started to come down. What did you think at that point?
Yeah, well, I guess it's Chris in the car, so I could see his Ginetta there, and I'm thinking I need to get this restart. So yeah, I managed to get a good run off the after the safety car, and then just try pulling a bit of a gap and manage the traffic.
Good stuff, well done, Chris. Congratulations on Class B victory. On that one, let's have a quick chat with our Class C winners as well. Who did we have in the car?
Ashmore first, I was out second, Sam Dennis.
How did you go, Sam?
It was a lot of fun, and we did. We've won again, straight 6 for 6.